You are now watching The Leaping Lemur.
Keychain is going to someone who... What the... What in the is going on? Someone's here.
Well everyone, here we go. Today we're going to be talking about the rotund rambler, the pudgy predator Nova Online once again. Now, it's been a while since I talked about Nova Online because all he's been doing is opening Pokemon cards. I mean, before, Nova was pretty lazy. You know, he didn't have a job, but at the very least he would upload TikTok videos. At this point, he doesn't have a job and he also doesn't upload any TikTok videos. So I don't know what the fuck the guy's doing with his spare time. It's like at this point, I'm pretty confident in saying that Nova is just spending all his mom's money. Like I'm pretty sure he's just racking up her credit card debt. Last time we saw that he was racking up $600 in credit card debt for his mom. So I have to think that he's just sitting back every week opening up a new card so he can buy some more Pokemons. You know, most good children give their mothers money on Mother's Day. Nova actually gave his mom a credit card bill and took money away from her. He actually put her in debt for Mother's Day. Pretty fucking crazy. Today we have a pretty wild video because somebody actually showed up to Nova's house. So this really doesn't have much to do with something that Nova did as much as it has to do with what other people are doing. For some reason, there's this trend amongst the youth to go to Nova's house for some reason. There was one viral video where somebody just showed up to his house and like looked around. You know, they didn't really like go up to him, they didn't do anything, they were just kind of in his backyard looking around at all the dirty shit. Well, then somebody started uploading videos where they were going to his front door and leaving him a note and some food, like an offering, some French onion soup or some shit like that. So I'm gonna play those videos right now to give you guys some context, but I've already talked about this on live stream multiple times. It's not a good thing to go to a lolcow's house. It's pretty unsafe. We've seen in the past people get like beat up by lolcows and shit. We've seen lolcows do some pretty unhinged shit. So at the end of the day, it's just not a good idea. But these people keep going to Nova's house and I'm afraid it's just gonna become more of a trend. Like I've seen multiple videos. I'll show you guys right now.
Nova Online's house right now and we're about to give him some French onion soup.
Dear Nova, I hope this soup and money finds you well and that it lets you make a nice poopy in your diaper. I would also recommend you stop talking to kids.
Can I get a French onion soup, please? We're on our way back to Nova Online's house and this time we upped our game with 3 cans of French onion soup and deodorant. Can I get a French onion soup, please?
One French onion soup, please!
French onion soup! Can I get a French onion
Can I get a
soup?
French onion soup?
I found Nova's house. Gabe, come on! Mow your yard, please. The tipped over water bottle from the Pokemon card video. Plenty of sick whips. The door is open. I can smell him. Where the Queen resides. If Nova responds, I'll bring him a coffee. I told y'all I'd be back.
I want trees.
It's really smelly.
The scents and colors.
A little treat for the viewers.
But yeah, I find it pretty weird that Nova is being treated as sort of like a celebrity. You had people at the Spokane Pride Parade taking pictures with him and shit. It's been pretty bad. I don't know why these people want to treat this PDF file as if he's somebody to be seen with, right? Or somebody to take pictures with. And it always goes south. Like one of the dudes in those videos, I think his name was like Homeboy Scotty. He ended up privating his page because he was getting so much hate. It's like, how are you going to start showing up to a PDF file's house for clout and thinking that that's cool? You're not really doing anything there. Like, you're not really helping the cause per se. You're just being a nuisance at that point, and you're obviously doing it for clout, right? You got to remain distant from these people. You got to keep a very far distance, because if you don't, before you know it, you could end up right at the same level as them. In my opinion, this shit's only so funny. Like, I do think that there's some comedic value to it in a sense, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say that I haven't chuckled a few times at a video similar to this, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing to do. Like, I found myself chuckling to some pretty crazy shit, right? But like, you can find something funny, like, you know, in the sense of like, you look back and you're like, wow, this is something insane, while also not thinking that it's a good thing to do, right? I just don't think that these people should be putting themselves in this sort of position. And at the end of the day, it just ends up harming them. It ends up harming their image, and it's cheap comedy, right? Like, if you want to be funny, make a video. Like, just make a video about Nova, you know what I mean? Like everybody else does. Because once you start getting close, you know, then the lines start to get blurred, and then you don't know what's gonna happen. So if you clicked on this video, you probably understand why I just showed those clips. Basically, somebody showed up to Nova's house while he was live streaming. It was almost like a stream snipe. I don't know if it was either of these guys or if it was a whole nother dude. I think they called Nova like a slur or something like that. I'm just gonna play the clip and cut out whatever they called him, because it's probably derogatory either way, but it sounded like it might have been the N-word. Anyway, Nova gets pretty mad. Let's just watch the clip, and then after, we'll check out some of Nova's new TikToks.
Our keychain is going to someone who... What the fuck? What in the fuck is going on? The fuck, someone's here. Shit. Read the sign. No trespassing. Fuck you too, bitch. Fuck me sideways. First time that's happened.
The crazy thing about that video is you can definitely see that Nova was scared once he heard that car skirt around the corner, because he started heavy breathing, like more than normal, you know what I mean? It was like quick, heavy breathing. Bro started hyperventilating. That's the best way to put it. Like, he was hyperventilating. And right off the bat, I gotta say, I don't condone this. Like, obviously, I just had a message in the beginning about how you shouldn't fuck with Nova or show up to his house, but I gotta say it again because I feel like YouTube would probably not like it if I glorified this in any way. So I'm just gonna start off by saying, like, obviously you shouldn't do this at all. It's not a good idea. Now, Nova's reaction was funny, but that doesn't mean that doing this is funny. You know, Nova could have reacted like this to anything else, right? He does these kind of reactions all the time. It just happens to be that this time it was to somebody showing up to his house. But yeah, obviously it's getting to a pretty crazy point. I was just talking about this like maybe 3 or 4 days ago on my live stream, how like this could definitely go far if it continues to happen. Like, if people keep showing up to his house and shit, eventually Nova's gonna try to do something, or somebody might try to do something to him. It could happen, right? It's definitely in the realm of possibilities. The more people show up, the more people show up, the higher the chances of that happening becomes. And I don't know what happened. Like, maybe it's a TikTok thing, maybe it's a lot of Gen Z people don't understand how this shit works, but you shouldn't be showing up to these people's house. It's sick. Like, just don't do that. If you're recording some kind of video, then at the end of the day, you're just trying to gain clout off of showing showing up to this PDF file's house, right? It's not cool. Don't do that. There's way better ways that you can try to gain internet fame, right? Than being that guy who showed up to Nova's house and screamed at him. This seems to happen to like a lot of TikTok lolcows, and I think it's just young people not understanding how lolcow culture works. They don't understand that you don't touch the poop, right? You don't go to these people's houses. You don't try to meet them in person. That's crossing a huge line. That goes beyond even talking to them through video or on call. Like straight up seeing these people in person, that's insane. You should not do that. I think the occasional spotting is whatever, because it's like, what are you gonna do? If you're walking in the store and you see Nova next to you and you snap a picture, I really don't see an issue with that, as long as you aren't like with the guy in the picture, glorifying him, you know, stroking his ego. But if you're just taking a picture from afar, I really don't see an issue with that. It's when these people like go up to his house, start screaming at him, start actually having these verbal confrontations with them, that's when it crosses a huge line, right? And it's gonna start becoming like a huge issue. It's gonna be like the whole Cyrax thing where some dude showed up to his door and he thought it was okay to, you know, bring a bat to the whole situation. It's gonna be very similar to that. I'm afraid something like that is gonna happen eventually, because, you know, Nova Online isn't necessarily the sharpest tool in the shed, so I can see him doing some stuff and, you know, not really knowing the laws and then really fucking up his life. And I guess that could be sort of interesting, but it's also bad because then somebody else is on the other end of that. Like somebody else has to deal with Nova freaking out on them. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. But yeah, with that being said, that's my little rant on going to Nova's house. I think it's something that people should not do. Like, it's definitely not a good idea at all to show up to a lolcow's house. And for some reason, it's becoming a trend. So I think we should just put a stop to it. The best way that we could put a stop to it is like just calling these people dorks and telling them how it is. It's not really that funny. It's funny because they're stupid. It's not funny because it's actual comedy. That's the best way to put it. The first video I wanted to watch is Nova reviewing some Crumble cookie, because we haven't seen Nova review food in a while, and this food review basically boils down to Nova eating a bunch of cookies and saying that they're good. Like, I'll talk about it later, but there's no nuance to this one at all. It's probably one of his worst.
We're gonna be trying this week's Crumble cookies menu. I only got mini cookies because I don't like to waste food. Confetti cake. A bit too sweet for my liking. 6 out of 10. Oh, I forgot what this one was. Oh, it's Snickers peanut butter. Very soft and lots of peanut butter. Just how I like it. 8.5 out of 10. Raspberry butter cake. That's the best one so far. The raspberry jam has so much flavor. 9 out of 10. Chocolate cake. How does this qualify as a cookie? I don't know. The mousse in here is so good. 9 out of 10. And finally, the Moonbeam ice cream cookie. Not bad. I need another bite to determine the flavors. Give me a sec. The chocolate cake one was still better, but the Moonbeam ice cream cookie is pretty good. I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, I give this week's Crumble cookie menu a 7.5 out of 10. Novan Universe, signing off.
This dude doesn't even know what the weekly lineup is. Like, it just goes to show that he doesn't give a fuck about this review. He just wants to eat. You know, there's a point when he doesn't even know what the cookie is. He's like, yeah, I forgot which one this one is. And then he just shoves it in his mouth. And then he makes a comment in the beginning talking about how he doesn't want to waste food, so he's not going to eat the full cookies. He's just going to get the small ones. But it's like, if he got the full cookies, we all know that he would have ate them all. It doesn't matter. Like, he's just doing this for show, right? We can say that, oh, I ate the small cookies, so it's technically more healthy, right? It's like, bro, you still ate a fucking box of cookies. Why the fuck does he need to talk while his mouth is full? While he's doing these reviews, he has to talk while his mouth is full. He can't just wait till he's finished chewing, till he swallows the food to give his mediocre, lukewarm review, right? His meaningless review, his 3-word review that usually is summed up to, this was really good. You know, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10. This was really good. Like, that's every Nova review ever, especially when he's eating these cookies. He doesn't give a fuck what flavor they are. He doesn't give a fuck like about the nuances of these cookies. I mean, it's Crumble. Who gives a fuck anyway? But it's not like he's even trying, you know what I mean? He's just like, fuck it, I love these cookies. This dude ate Benson Boone's cookie. Like, he straight up ate Benson Boone's cookie right in front of everybody, bro. That shit's crazy. I heard that shit sucked ass. It's like lemon and chocolate mixed together. That's some real Mormon shit. That's a real Mormon palate right there, buddy. I'm surprised that this dude didn't even make it look like he didn't like one of these cookies, because if you see this week's Crumble review, if you watch anybody else eat these cookies, they always say that the Benson Boone one is disgusting. And it makes sense. It's like lemonade on the top and then it's chocolate on the bottom. But this dude rated every cookie a 10 out of 10, basically. Like, he rated them great. He loves Crumble. Bro just loves to eat. Like, it just goes to show he doesn't give a fuck about these reviews. He's not reviewing this because he has any passion for food reviews. He's reviewing it because he wants to eat food. This other video I wanted y'all to see is Nova opening up like a gift from a fan or like a card company. It's really hard to understand what's going on in this video, but I think he's trying to like say that a fan bought him these cards, and it's basically another video where it could be fake, it could be real, but I'm leaning more towards that he might have just bought this shit for himself, you know, made up a whole little story that it was a fan just to make himself feel better so he can post it. Because for some reason, all of a sudden, Nova has these fans that are like buying him gifts and shit. Seems really weird. Like, all of a sudden, out of the blue, there's these fans that just understand like Nova's predicament. They understand diddling kids all of a sudden. Really weird.
I just got a package from Big Boy Break Singles. Let's go ahead and open it up. Damn, this thing is kind of hard to open. Alright. Let's see what we've got in here. It looks like it's Pokemon cards. So we got some nice looking cards in here. Let's open them up. Looks like you got an Electro GX, a Machamp Break, a Team Skull Grunt Hollow, a Charizard EX, and a Gold Nest Ball Trainer. These are all cool. I might go ahead and get this Charizard EX graded, depending on how much all these are worth. And it looks like there's a note in here. We'll save that for last. And let's see what else is in here. Looks like it is a Surfing Pikachu and 5 packs of XY Evolutions, which is a very rare set to come across these days. So, and here's what the note says. Dear Nova, we have decided to send you one of our Pokemon Replica RIP kits. These kits include 5 times Pokemon Mystery Replica packs, 5 cards to add to your collection, and 1 single card, which is your chase card for the month. If you pull your chase card, then you receive an entire RIP kit on us. We ask you to review our product on your TikTok, and if all goes well, we would like to offer you a partnership. Well, you're in luck. In the next episode of Should I Open It or Should I Keep It Sealed, we're going to be opening up 4 of these XY Evolutions packs, and I'm keeping one of them sealed. Thank you so much to Big Boy Break Singles for the package. I greatly appreciate it. Novine Universe, signing off.
I don't know much about those Pokemon cards. I don't collect cards at all, but Nova seemed pretty excited about them. They look pretty cool, you know, whatever. They look shiny. But what I find weird is Nova Online always hopping on trends, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, he'll find some big creator, and if they're doing something popular, he'll try to replicate what they're doing. But instead of making it his own, like instead of coming up with his own style, his own branding, he'll just like take their catchphrases, he'll take the way that they record videos, and he'll do it himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, completely to a T. He'll copy their phrases, which I find really weird. It's like, imagine if lolcow content creators just started like saying the same lines over and over again. Like, I get it, some of us have very similar talking points, but like, imagine to a T, we just started saying the same shit over and over again. Soon enough, you'd be like, what the fuck is this guy copying this guy? What's going on here? And that's what people think when they hear Nova. They're like, who is this guy? He sounds a lot like this other guy that I watch, but he's huge and he doesn't know what he's doing. With that being said, I don't even know if this is like a real letter or anything. It could be fabricated, it could be fake, so people think he has fans or whatever. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think that Nova faked this one too? I saw a lot of comments in my last video saying that Nova possibly faked his fan interaction that he had before on his birthday, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what you guys think. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you watched all the way to the end, you're the best. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.